the Wildlife Protection Act was passed in dash, and your options are A. 1972, B. 1982, C. 1987, and D. 1962. And the correct answer for this question is A. 1972. The Wildlife Protection Act was passed in 1972, which is an act of the Parliament of India enacted for protection of plants and the animal species. Before 1972, India had only 5 designated national parks. Among other reforms, the Act established the schedules of protected plants and animal species. Hunting or harvesting these species was largely outlawed. The next question is Morges, Switzerland is the headquarters of dash. A. IUCN, B. WWF, C. ICRISAT, that is ICRISAT, and D. UNESCO. And the correct answer for this question is A. IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. This is an international independent organization that was founded in 1948. The second option, that is WWF, that is World Wide Fund for Nature. It is an international non-governmental organization that was founded in 1961. The third option is the International Crops Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics. This is also an international organization that conducts the agricultural research for rural development, and its headquarters are in Hyderabad, that is in India. And the fourth one, UNESCO, that is the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. You might be knowing this is a specialized agency of the United Nations which contributes to building of peace, eradication of poverty, sustainable development, intercultural dialogue through education, science, culture, communication and information. And this has its headquarters in France. The next question: the reason for the extinction of the bird dodo is dash, and your options are A. Its curved beak, B. Its beautiful feathers, C. Its flesh, and D. Its melodious song. And the correct answer for this question is its flesh. Look on the screen to see what the dodo bird looked like. You might be knowing dodo, that is Raphis cucullatus. It's an extinct flightless bird. This was mostly found in Mauritius and the east of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. These were mainly hunted for food because they were so large that people used to be consuming it in what you can say in installments, like, because eating one entire bird in a meal time was next to impossible. So they used to preserve the remains of the same by salting it. Question is, the red list is maintained by dash, and your options are A. WPSI, B. IUCN, C. UNESCO, and D. WHO. And the correct answer for this question is IUCN. The IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. It's the world's most comprehensive information about the conservation status of the plant and animal species. Okay, so it is recognized as the most important guideline to understand the status of the biological diversity. WPSI option jo hai, that is Wildlife Protection Society of India, that was founded in 1994. UNESCO, in the earlier question we already had a talk about it. It's United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, and WHO is the World Health Organization. The next question: the highest risk to wildlife is by dash, and your options are A. Hunting, B. Exotic species, C. Overgrazing, and D. Destruction of the natural habitat. And the correct answer for this question is D. Destruction of the natural habitat. The next is, identify the endangered species, and the options given are A. Eucalyptus, B. Nepenthes, C. Cedrus, and D. Dalbergia. And the correct answer for this question is B. Nepenthes. You can look on the screen for this. You might be knowing this is very commonly called as the pitcher plant or the monkey cup, and it is a carnivorous plant. Next question is identify the extinct animal. And the options are A. Cheetah, B. Snow leopard, C. Wolf, and D. Hippopotamus. And the correct answer is A. That is cheetah. It has become extinct from India. So the correct answer is this. See, when there are no more individuals of a species, either plant or animal, alive anywhere in the world, then it is said to be extinct. Now, extinction is also known as the process of dying out. So the process is a completely natural part of evolution. But sometimes this may happen at a higher, that is faster rate than usual. So factors such as large body size, small population, position at a higher trophic level, these all mainly contribute to extinction. The next question is wildlife includes dash A. Endangered species, B. All flora and fauna which are not domesticated, C. Only lions and tigers, and D. Wild animals only. And the correct answer for this question is B. All flora and fauna which are not domesticated. The next question is endemic species are commonly found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands because of dash. And the options are A. Overexploitation, B. Overconsumption, C. Climatic barriers, and D. Geographical barriers. And the correct answer for this question is D. Geographical barriers. Out of more than 9,100 species that is recorded in the islands, it's almost 1,032 which are endemic. They are far removed from the mainland. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal, they support and nurture over 1,000 such species of animals that are exclusive to this part of the world, including some rare and the endangered ones. Of these 1,032 species which are endemic to the islands, it is almost 11.30%. Now, the high percentage of endemism is due to geographical isolation and changed ecological conditions. Now, friends, you may feel why are endemic species found on islands? For example, the islands situated in the remote regions of the oceans, which are physically isolated from other land masses. This is because of the evolutionary influences of isolation and adaptive radiations on the islands. These places tend to have many endemic species. The next question is the medicinal plants which are overexploited and overconsumed will go in the category of dash. And the options are A. Wild plants, B. Endemic plants, C. Extinct plants, and D. Endangered plants. And the correct answer for this question is D. Endangered plants. You know, plants are used as medicine for as long as we have existed on the earth. However, because there have been many more people that are now using such plants in the recent years, there has been a huge increase in demand for them. And this increased use of medicinal plants has unfortunately led to heavy pressure on the native populations of these plants when they are collected from the wild. In some cases, the overharvesting of particular herbs has even led to their endangerment. You might be even aware that there are 10 endangered plants with such medicinal properties. The next question is the endemic species which are survivors of geographical past are known as dash. And the options are A. Polyendemics, B. Neoendemics, C. Paleoendemics, and D. Local endemics. And the correct answer for this question is paleoendemics. Endemism is the ecological state of a species which is unique to a defined geographical location, such as an island or a nation or other defined zone or habitat. Now, organisms that are indigenous to a place are not endemic to it if they are also found elsewhere. Remember this. Now, there are two main subcategories of endemism, that is paleoendemism and neoendemism. So, paleoendemism refers to species that were formerly widespread but are now restricted to a smaller area, whereas neoendemism refers to a species that has recently arisen, such as through divergence or maybe reproductive isolation or maybe hybridization and polyploidy in the plants, and yet have to disperse beyond a limited range. For example, you can say Charles Darwin's study of neo-endemic species, you might be knowing, in locations such as Galapagos Islands, helped from his ideas of evolution by natural selection. The next question is, epibiotics are A. Endemics, B. Pseudoendemics, C. Progressive endemics, and D. Ancient endemics. And the correct answer for this question is ancient endemics. Just now I told you that endemism refers to confinement of a particular species or a group of plants or animals to a particular area. As I said, I have already explained you about neoendemism and paleoendemism. Now, epibiotics, at times, please remember, these are also called as relic endemics. इसका mention textbook में ज़्यादा नहीं है. The plants belong to fossil groups and are restricted only in certain areas due to favorable climate and lack of competition. Example, the ginkgo biloba, which is restricted to China but widely spread in the north temperate zone as a fossil. Okay, so this is what is meant by relic epibiotics, yeah, relic endemics. Okay, and please remember there are different types furthermore of endemism, like schizoendemics, maybe pateroendemics, apoendemics, and so on. Of course, they're not really asked. The next question is, species which are restricted to a single mountain peak are called as, and the options are A. Local endemics, B. Relic endemics, C. Expanding endemics, and D. Both A and B. And the correct answer for this question is A. That is, the next question is, pseudoendemics are, and the options are A. Species distributed in various regions, B. Mutated forms which soon disappear, C. Newly developed species, and D. Originated in the ancient era. And the correct answer for this question is B. That is, mutated forms which soon disappear. The next question is, soil erosion can be prevented by A. Overgrazing, B. Afforestation, C. Removal of vegetation, and D. Increasing bird population. And the correct answer for this is afforestation. You might be knowing, friends, soil erosion is the wearing away of the topsoil, and it is caused by factors such as maybe water, wind, and tillage of the farm fields. And one of the best ways to prevent it is to increase the vegetation, because it locks the soil particles and breaks up the damaging winds. The three major causes of soil erosion, as I said, wind, water, are major: overgrazing and deforestation. The next question is, deforestation generally decreases dash: A. Rainfall, B. Soil erosion, C. Global warming, and D. Drought. And the correct answer for this question is A. Rainfall. It's quite predictable answer, right? Question is, identify the renewable source of energy. And the options are A. Coal, B. Trees, C. Petroleum, and D. Nuclear fuel. And the correct answer for this question is trees. The most popular renewable energy resources currently are solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, and biomass energy. Keep this in mind, friends. The next question is, largest amount of fresh water occurs in dash: A. Rivers, B. Lakes and streams, C. Polar ice and glaciers, and D. Underground. And the correct answer for this question is C. Polar ice and glaciers. Over 68% of the fresh water on the earth is found in ice caps and glaciers, and just over 30% is found in the groundwater. Only about 0.3% of our fresh water is found in the surface water of lakes and rivers. The next question is, zoo cultivation is dash. A. Cultivation of jamun plants. B. Tribal method of shifting the cultivation. C. Cultivation of terraces. D. Cultivation of medical plants by the tribal people. And the correct answer for this question is B. That is the tribal method of shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is an agricultural system in which the plots of the land are cultivated temporarily and then they're abandoned, and while post disturbance fallow vegetation is allowed to freely grow while the cultivator moves on to another plot. In simple words, it is also called as slash and burn agriculture. It is the process of growing the crops by first clearing the land of trees and vegetation and burning them thereafter. The burnt soil, it contains potash, which increases the nutrient content of the soil. You can look in the screen and get an idea about it. Now, fallow land is a land wherein nothing is being cultivated. So you can see here the primary or the secondary forest being cut and burnt, and the annual crop harvest taken, and then fallow land is made to grow further again. The next question is, per capita forest area in India is dash. A. 0.08 hectares. B. 1.0 hectares. C. 0.60 hectares. D. 1.6 hectares. And the correct answer for this question is 0.08 hectares. Ideally, its average, world average is almost 0.64 hectares. The recorded forest area in India is about 76.5 million hectares. That is 23% of the total land mass. Please keep this in mind because this can be asked to you in various competitive exams. But the actual forest per tree cover is about 19% of the total geographical area. The next question is, the tidal power comes under dash. A. Renewable resource. B. Exhaustible resource. C. Non-renewable resource. And D. Inexhaustible resource. And the correct answer for this question is D. This question is, growing forests in a desired pattern is known as dash. A. Forestry. B. Desalination. C. Silviculture. And D. Desiltation. And the correct answer is silviculture. The next question is, identify from the following which industry is not forest based. A. Paper. B. Lac. C. Sports goods. And D. Cement. And the correct answer is cement. Next question is, soil social forestry is useful in yielding dash. A. Timber. B. Medicines. C. Multiple purposes. And D. Both A and B. And the correct answer for this question is C. The next question is, forest control drought by dash. And the options are A. Increasing rainfall. B. Growth of aquatic plants. C. Functional as watershed. And D. Retention of water and prevention of erosion. And the correct answer for this question is D. Friends, if you've liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell icon if you haven't. Thank you so much.